Studio 31.
You deserve to have leaders held accountable to you.
This is WDAM-7 News at 5.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for WDAM-7 News at 5. I'm Caroline Wood. The Hattiesburg Police are asking for your help in locating another individual wanted in a separate domestic violence incident. 54-year-old Jim McCurdy of Hattiesburg has an active warrant for one count of domestic violence aggravated assault that occurred in the 600 block of Charles Street March 19th. According to officials, he attempted to assault his ex-wife. No injuries were reported. If you or anyone you know have information, you are asked to call Hattiesburg Police or Metro Crime Stoppers at 601-582-STOP. Pandemic air travel is surging. For the 10th straight day, TSA reports more than 1 million people were screened at U.S. airports. Saturday, the U.S. saw more than 1,300,000 passengers through airports nationwide, and a new one-day pandemic record was reached Friday with more than 1,400,000 passengers. The surge comes as federal health officials still caution against travel. Taking a look at the numbers in Mississippi, the State Department of Health reports 160 new cases and 2 more people have died from COVID. Currently, 37 long-term care facilities have outbreaks throughout the state. Since the beginning of the pandemic, Mississippi has had more than 302,000 cases and close to 7,000 people have died from the virus. And hospital workers have faced a huge task in caring for coronavirus patients during the pandemic. One of the biggest challenges is keeping their spirits up while they are isolated from their families. Members of the Memorial Hospital in Gulfport shared some of their experience from the last year. John Fitzhugh has more on the story.
The isolation forced by the contagious nature of COVID-19 created a unique situation for both patients and caregivers at hospitals during the pandemic.
They're not there for just a day or two or a couple of days. They're there for weeks with us, and we become their family and they become our family.
The nurses, aides, and respiratory therapists began to develop ways to serve as surrogate family.
So over time, we've tried to figure out some of those emotional needs for our patients as well, because we can do the medical part of it all day, but people need that emotional support, that love, that touch.
You try to joke and cut up with the patients because they need that. They need the laugh as much as they need a caring person to be there with them.
The staff is also the only connection the family has to the patient.
Those nurses down there, they work so hard every day trying to keep, talk to the families, talk to the patient, being there for the patient, trying to explain things and everything. And I know when you're in here, it's scary because the nurses have on these big mask things and they're all dressed out.
We're their lifeline to their family. And it's really tough sometimes because, we know what's going on and you're just trying to put on a brave face and just say, everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay when there's some days we know everything's not going to be okay.
The patient load at Memorial Hospital at Gulfport has dropped in the last few weeks, giving the staff that has worked so hard for the last year a welcome respite. But they will never forget those patients they became family to.
And remember, you can stay up to date on the latest COVID headlines by using our WDAM-7 News app or by going online to WDAM.com.
It has been a simply beautiful day here in South Mississippi. As a matter of fact, at Circle K and Tractor in Waynesboro, the temperature is currently 69 degrees. Look at those beautiful blue skies out there. Just a lovely day here in the Pine Belt. Here's your forecast for tomorrow. We'll start up around 45 degrees at 7 o'clock in the morning, be around 60 by 10 a.m., around 70 by 1, 73 degrees by 4, back to around 66 degrees by 7 p.m., but only a 10% chance of rain late in the day tomorrow. Caroline?
All right, thanks, Rex. Well, there's a lot of different diets out there, and you may have heard of intermittent fasting. According to officials with Hattiesburg Clinic and Forest General Hospital, intermittent fasting is a type of eating in which an individual limits the time period in which they eat. Dr. Rambod Rubash says intermittent fasting is more accurately referred to as time-restricted feeding. He says this means people have small portions of time in which they consume calories, then have a longer period of time in which they don't. Dr. Rubash says this helps your body get into ketosis. However, time-restricted feeding may not be a free pass for eating whatever you want.
If you want to maximize your dietary changes, it would be best, especially to lower the simple carbohydrates or the simple sugars. The idea here is the sooner you can burn off your glucose or your sugar stores, the quicker you're going to get into ketosis or burning off fat as a fuel source. So if you want to maximize what you're doing, restrict the time in which you're eating and also try to eat more healthy food.
Dr. Rubash says the most popular way of time-restricted feeding is eating 6 to 8 hours a day and then not eating for 16 to 18 hours a day. And free food and hand sanitizer was handed out today. Hattiesburg City Councilwoman Deborah Delgado held a chat and chew for the community near William Carey University. It was a way for people to come out and ask questions and meet the councilwoman. She explains why the event was needed.
Came out to the William Carey community to talk to the people, to answer their questions, to talk to them about getting a vaccine. You know, if they're interested, we're taking their information and trying to help them get an appointment. In addition to that, we're giving sanitizer, face masks, and giving them a plate of food.
The event is happening at 2616 McLeland Street in Hattiesburg, and it'll go on until 5:30. And tomorrow starts USM's yearly community volunteer project, The Big Event. All this week, students from southern Mississippi will be volunteering their time to help local charities. Usually it's just a one-day event, but due to COVID, the event will be spread out throughout the whole week. Nearly 10 different organizations across the city will benefit from The Big Event. If you'd like to participate, visit volunteer.usm.edu. And this week on Full Court Press, a surge in undocumented immigrants entering the nation. Greta Van Susteren reports from the U.S.-Mexico border. She's in Laredo, Texas, and here's a preview.
We need to work with Mexico, get them to secure the border, because our problem is their problem. I promise you. You can listen to the advocates, the immigration advocates, but you got to listen to the border communities, because we're, bearing the blunt. Listen also to the men and women in green, because they're throwing up flares right now, asking for help.
You can catch Full Court Press tonight after our 10 o'clock newscast.
And coming up next, I'll have a full forecast for you.
Desperate migrants, unaccompanied kids. Can anything stop the building crisis at our southern border? Greta Van Susteren is on the ground to get answers. A special edition of Full Court Press from Laredo, Texas, tonight at 11.
Ally presents the song recorded live at TGL Farms, bringing you some of the most iconic music ever written by the artists and songwriters that made them famous.
Tonight at 11:30.
Laurel, we're proud to be on your side.
Welcome back, everybody, on this Sunday, the first full day of spring of 2021. It's currently 67 degrees at Jones College in Ellisville. Obviously, the winds are calm. And looking at Walt Massey Ford in Columbia, temperature is 72 degrees. But look at all these beautiful blue skies out there. Just simply a gorgeous day. We did manage to make it up to 69 officially at Bobby Chain Airport. Average high is 73. The record, 91 on this day back in 1907. The low this morning got down to 38. Where it should be 48, but we were 26 in the state back in 1965. Obviously, no rain in the rain gauge today. Currently at Bobby Chain, sunny skies, temperature 69 degrees there. And coming in at Laurel, it's 67 degrees and skies are sunny there too. And it's going to be mostly clear across the area tonight. Temperatures in the upper 60s, lower 70s, 71 in Columbia, 69 in Hattiesburg, 68 in Wiggins, 67 degrees in Bay Springs. 67 in Waynesboro. Anyway, here's a look at the temperatures across the nation. They're not terribly cold, but I think we'll still have an Easter snap coming before all is said and done. Pollen's going to be kind of high tomorrow, 8.5, so there you have it. Radar, nothing on this thing to worry about, and especially rain-wise. It's mild and dry outside right now, and will likely stay dry throughout the day tomorrow, and then the rain chances will increase significantly on Tuesday and Wednesday, the way it's looking at this point. Here's your forecast. Overnight temperatures in the lower to mid-40s, mainly mid-40s. I think the cool spot be 43 degrees in Bay Springs, 45 Hattiesburg, 46 in Lucedale, 45 in Columbia and Wiggins. And then the forecast for Monday, I think it'll be dry most of the day and kind of warm. Temperatures in the low 70s, maybe mid-70s in Lucedale. But here comes the rain on Tuesday. Check this out. And that's quite a bit of rain coming through, and highs will be in the upper 60s to lower 70s. So we've got several days of rain coming up next week, the way it's looking at this point. Here's your forecast for the next 7 days. Again, a 10% chance of rain late in the day on Monday. I think it'll be after midnight Tuesday morning, to be honest with you. But a 70% chance for showers and storms on Tuesday, a 70% chance on Wednesday, and highs will be around 70 on Tuesday, around 71 on Wednesday. Lows around 58 degrees by Tuesday morning, around 60 by Wednesday. And Thursday, we have a lingering 50% chance for showers in the forecast, maybe a thunderstorm thrown in with a high of 68 degrees. Then we get a break on Friday and a high of 79, lows in the 50s, and more scattered showers and possible thunderstorms in the forecast for Sunday. And then on Saturday, on Sunday, we're down to a 30% chance, and those should be morning showers with a high of 79 and lows back in the lower 60s. And hey, if you don't have our weather app, please download it. It's the WDAM First Alert weather app. It comes in mighty handy.
All right, thanks, Rex. In national news, Miami Beach began enforcing a curfew last night after swaths of spring breakers descended onto the city. This was the scene in the entertainment district as officers began dispersing crowds. People were seen running from Ocean Drive as law enforcement arrived on scene. Miami Beach is enforcing a slew of safety measures, including the nightly curfew and highway shutdowns for at least 72 hours. And Hawaii is seeing an uptick in travelers. The state's Department of Health says nearly 25,000 people arrived in the islands Friday. The majority, about 16,000, were visitors. Tourist hotspots like Waikiki Beach were packed full of folks this weekend. The large spike in tourism is likely credited to spring break travelers as mainland states ease restrictions and people search for ways to resume their long-awaited plans. Thousands of people marched to the Georgia State Capitol Saturday to protest hate against Asians. That was in addition to other vigils and gatherings to mourn the victims of last week's spa killings. Chenue Her reports.
I never imagined this type of violence would happen right next door, and especially as Asian Americans, this type of violence just shocked me to the core.
Joey Chen and Shinrui Lee aren't related to the 8 people killed in a spa shooting spree, but they, like others, laying dozens of flowers and signs at the spas, still feel connected.
Because I'm living in the same neighborhood and then thinking about, wow, just me walking on the street, and then I hope that nothing bad like this would happen to me one day, but I'm just worried.
Worried about targeted harassment, worried for their safety.
Kind of feel like a little bit edgy for our security when we're walking down the street, we're being yelled at just for simply being Asians.
It's nothing new. All that stuff has been happening. It just takes a big tragedy for it to bring light to it.
Other communities are stepping up, walking, running, rallying, trying to raise awareness of anti-Asian violence.
Not everyone is that frontline, protesting type person. So what's a unique way to get everyone out? Through the running community.
Shannon Booker and James Rowe partnered with Lululemon and Strava to raise more than $50,000 for the victims' families.
For us to right now have the platform to really communicate who we are as people and the existence of racism, I think is such an important thing for the world to know.
Stop Asian hate!
Thousands walked, drove, even bused their way to a rally outside the Georgia State Capitol, connected by a common cause, days after processing a shocking bout of violence.
I really appreciate everybody's attention to our Asian community.
Saturday, Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms encouraged prosecutors and police to consider hate crime charges against the suspect. An earthquake was reported off the east coast of Japan yesterday. The quake had earlier triggered a tsunami warning, but that has been downgraded to a tsunami forecast for slight sea level changes, according to a government website. Now, this video gives a sense of the earthquake as lightning equipment shakes with CNN teams in Japan. New information revises this as a 7.0 preliminary magnitude earthquake. This is the same site of the devastating 9.0 quake 10 years ago that led to Japan's worst ever nuclear disaster. We're told there were no immediate reports of deaths or injuries. And a volcano in Iceland was still erupting this weekend, attracting visitors who want to see the spectacular lava flows. As volcanoes go, it's a minor eruption, but the dangers are real if you get too close. The long dormant volcano erupted Friday after being quiet for almost 800 years. It sent streams of lava flowing across a small valley, and naturally, the phenomenon is drawing spectators. But officials worry that visitors are not well equipped to be at the site and are not aware of the risks from the molten lava.
Golden Eagles getting the rooms ready as they take on Missouri State for Game 3. We've got highlights coming up after the break.
And we'll have more details in the next half hour. Stay with us. I like your tie today.
Thank you so much. My wife picked it out for me.
Of course you did.
Rachel always picks out the best outfits.
And they're always really good.
They're always crisp. They always coordinate. She does the perfect job.
We almost matched, kind of.
We almost did, and I didn't even call you this morning.
You should have wore the same blazer like mine.
I got to get one that color. What color is that?
We all have different mornings, but they all start here on WDAM-7 Sunrise.
Get ready, Pine Belt. It's time for WDAM-7 Sports.
Southern Miss looking to break out the brooms as it takes on Missouri State. Let's head on out to the Peep for those highlights. Ben Etheridge gets the start today, and Southern Miss's bats are getting to work early in the bottom of the second. Gabe Montenegro leads off with a single. Reed Trimble follows it up with an RBI triple. 1-0 Southern Miss. Charlie Fisher up to bat. He'll ground out, but still scores Trimble. That'll put Southern Miss up 2-0. Then in the following inning, Dustin Dickerson hits a single. That'll set it up for this. Trimble follows it up with an RBI sac fly to make it 3-0 Southern Miss. Golden Eagles complete the sweep of the Bears as they go on to win 3-1. That'll make it the second straight sweep for the Golden Eagles. And Southern Miss softball falls in the series finale against Samford today, 8-2 the final score. Up next, Southern Miss will host Ole Miss this Wednesday. First pitch set for 5 o'clock. Southern Miss soccer pulling off the upset over North Texas, 2-1. The Golden Eagles are now tied for first place in Conference USA West. And over to some football now. Jackson State lost its first game of the season on Saturday. Much of the action happening in the second half. Quarterback Jalen Jones got a taste of adversity. Started off in the first quarter throwing his first interception of the year, completed only 19 of his 50 passes, and ended up throwing another interception with 30 seconds left in the game. But the worst thing about was the unsportsmanlike conduct call that gave the Hornets prime position for their last touchdown of the game. While it wasn't all bad, Coach Prime is hoping he'll use this as a learning experience.
First thing that we want to be is smart. I tell you this every week, smart. And after we score, are we dunking the goalpost? Hope he takes that in the understanding and improve himself 100% in its totality of just being a complete football player. And that's your quarterback. But I love the way he fought back. Fought to the end. Got your hats off to him. But he learned about some valuable lessons today.
That's all for sports. We're back after this.
This is Soso, Mississippi, and this is the exact spot an EF4 tornado destroyed the town on Easter Sunday. We all know that the weather can turn dangerous here in the Pine Belt, but this severe weather season, you can protect yourself and stay safe when it does. In severe weather, the best way to protect yourself is to stay informed. The WDAM-7 First Alert Weather Team No surprises. Plan ahead. Stay safe.
Farm families of Mississippi are growing Mississippi's future.
And welcome back, everybody. Let's take a look at the forecast again. Overnight now, I'm expecting mostly clear skies. We'll wake up in the morning around 7 a.m. with 43 degrees in Bay Springs, 44 in Collins, Laurel, Waynesboro, 45 in Columbia, Hattiesburg, Leakesville, Poplarville, and Wiggins, 46 degrees in Lucedale. Now, during the day tomorrow, it's going to be becoming partly cloudy. Highs in the lower 70s, 71 in Bay Springs, 73 in Hattiesburg, 74 in Lucedale. And then moving into Tuesday, now we have a very good chance for showers and thunderstorms moving through the area, and that will occur again on Wednesday as well. We'll be in the upper 60s to right around 70 during the day on Tuesday. Now, looking at the 7-day forecast, looks like a good chance for showers and storms on Tuesday, so they'll be likely on Tuesday, likely again on Wednesday, and a pretty decent chance on Thursday. We get a little break on Friday, and more showers are expected on Saturday, maybe a thunderstorm mixed in. At this point, we're not expecting anything severe, but that could change. And also, some of these storms could drop a lot of heavy rainfall. Nick and Pat will be talking about that tomorrow, so please tune in to watch those folks. And then another chance of showers returns for Sunday morning before that ends, and it becomes mostly sunny by Sunday afternoon. Highs in the upper 70s, around 80. Overnight lows actually in the 40s for tomorrow morning, in the 50s on Tuesday morning, and in the 60s for Wednesday and Thursday morning, back to the 50s for Friday and Saturday, back to the lower 60s by Sunday morning. And again, let me remind you, if you do not have this, please download it. It's the WDAM First Alert Weather app. It comes in extremely handy and nice to have around, to be honest with you. And as a matter of fact, that's our new look. Caroline?
All right, thanks. Good information there, Rex. Well, Wednesday, a charter fishing boat caught something rarely seen, a whole pod of killer whales. The orcas weren't actually captured. They were just caught on camera. Many of the fishermen were asleep after an all-night tuna charter, but this was worth waking up for. And thank you so much for joining us here at 5. Stay up to date with what's happening online at WDAM.com or with our WDAM 7 News app. We'll see you back here at 10.